Today I have Esai here, one of our work group members, teaching us how she finds premium clients, what she's done to build her reputation, and how she's built an agency from scratch. Hey, I'm Emily Reagan, and I teach virtual assistants how to be highly paid, highly prized marketing assistants who help their clients grow, nurture, and sell to their audiences. When you do marketing, you can charge more. If you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Check out the links below this video description, and be sure to apply for our work group. It is our community of marketing freelancers, virtual assistants, and marketing assistants who are doing the work, who have common goals, and want to nerd out on marketing like we're about to do today. How did you go from HR to marketing?
Honestly, I was trying to, like I said, I was starting my career coaching business. I said, I'll help you get a job. And because I was that obsessed with results, like no matter like how good you are or how bad you are or how big a leap you want to make in your career, I can make it happen. Like I got people jobs. Like that was it.
So what was the tipping point for you going from the beginning where you're looking for clients to now where you're booked out? I see your name everywhere. I see people referring you. You're one of my top unicorns. Talk to me what happened in that period.
Honestly, the biggest reason I get a ton of referrals and I'm everywhere, and I do a horrible job of promoting myself. If you go to my socials, it's like a graveyard there. Like I do some IG lives with some clients, but I don't post, I don't show up consistent. I don't do any of the things that I do for my clients, right? That's pretty much how we work. But the reason it happens is because I did that. Like number one, I get results. People who work with me, the average lifespan of a client with us, if they work with us for longer than 2 months, meaning they fit with us, our values fit, our process fits, right? And people who work with us, they end up working with us for like a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. And I think that's the biggest secret in succeeding as a service provider. Do a good job. When it comes to relationship marketing, you need to do one more thing, which is often where people fail at, which is what Social Konnection makes it easy to do. And that's the secret why, even though I don't promote myself at all, it always feels like I'm everywhere.
New VAs especially get so obsessed with how am I going to find that next client? Like, where am I going to find the clients? Is there an ROI? And I'm like, just concentrate on the one you have now and wow them. And I'm in a lot of networks, and you're in a lot of these networks too, where they're having such a hard time finding the reliable person who actually can deliver on the results, who actually communicates, who doesn't ghost, who says when they're working on their things. And it's not that hard. And I've had so many guests on this podcast saying they're not special. They have a good work ethic, right? Yeah. This isn't easy work, but it's easy to shine. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Like that's 50% of the job, right? Just show up, do a good job, and just like you said, communicate with your client, right? So and that's pretty much what I did. So if you look at the tipping point for me came when I started showing up and working with bigger clients, and they started referring me to bigger and bigger clients, right? So when I started doing that, but here's another thing, I still don't have a website. So last time I thought, okay, I should probably have a website. That's when my business blew up, and I was like, okay, then I decided to focus on hiring and training. Scaling for me, the agency model made a lot of sense for me, was because I'm very good at strategy. Even though I don't promote myself, I don't talk about this a lot, and I read a lot. I obsess about learning new things, right? Because I know that it's not just about learning things in your discipline. It's about learning new things. That's how you make connections. That's how you do a better job. And because I do that, I have a wider variety of industries I can work with. Then I grew as an agency and I scaled that because now I bring on experts who are experts in implementation. When I started scaling my agency, one of the biggest thing I did was bringing a culture of the level of obsession that I have about getting clients results. I want every single person obsessed that way. So we have a profit sharing model, we have a work sharing model, and we have the kind of culture where every single person we talk about, okay, what's happening with their client. Like you said, we think about our clients' businesses as of our own all the time, right? So it's about showing up in a specific way in doing that. And that's the thing. You have to show up like that everywhere. It's not just in your marketing. With your clients, you're always doing that. You show up for your clients, show up for your prospects, you show up in these networking events, in your peer communities. Like it's consistency. When you show up consistently like that, you become a brand. So people know what you're about and they feel confident about recommending you to other people.
Okay, I have a question about the agency model that you're doing. For anyone who's in a boat where they're thinking about running an agency. It's not for everybody. So I would like to know who you think it's right for, and what would be the first steps to set somebody up to do an agency.
So if you are considering building an agency model, the first thing you have to remember is that it's about managing people. The way you treat your employees is how they will treat your clients. So you have to be very clear that is that the kind of thing that you want to be doing. If somebody is very creative, I like writing, I like doing that, I like problem solving, and that's only what I want to do, then you're probably better off scaling as a specialist than an agency model. But if you are a people person, like I love talking to people, I love managing people, then agency might be a right step for you. Number one. Number two, if you truly want to build passive income, agency model is the best way to build a passive income. But it's not easy. It takes time. It is a long game. So you have to be ready to create that culture. And most importantly, the culture. And trust me, I've hired 5 people. I've fired 7 people, the people that I've hired. I'm quick. I'm like, I know that when it's not going to work out, it was not an easy decision. I hate confrontation, but I still did that. It is still a learning curve because you have to learn how to recruit, how to think, how to know, and how to train, and how to manage, how to retain, and how to continuously train, and how to make sure the quality does not suffer, how to build out internal processes. It is a lot. Like, I don't want to say it's easy. It is a lot. I almost got completely burnt out doing it. But once it's done, the sense of freedom that I have now, it is unmatched.
I'm glad you addressed that. It's definitely not for everyone, but how could somebody set themselves up to take on, I don't know, like even their first subcontractor to be able to help them?
First, I would say definitely hire, instead of hiring full time, give yourself a little bit of grace, either hire part time or hire a contractor. So you can sort of learn how to manage that person, how to manage expectation. And you have to do like the fastest, the most personal development that I saw within myself was when I was learning how to lead these people. Right? Being a creative expert is very different from being a leader. It's a worthwhile journey. Right. So there are tons of books and resources on that. You have to learn what your leadership style is. A couple of books that I really, really recommend to everybody. One of them is called Personality Plus. It talks about different personality types. It's like a shortcut. Obviously, people don't fit into specific templates, but it really helps you in understanding what people are and understand their motivation, understand how to talk to them. And step 2, you are responsible for the standards. Like you have to keep laying down those standards and like pulling people up, because it's going to naturally keep draining down, even with the best employees. Right? It's not, that's the biggest shift. It's not everything that goes wrong that doesn't work. It's because of something you did wrong. So you have to have that sense of ownership and responsibility. When you start looking at things like that, even the worst employees or worst contractors, you can still get really high quality work from them because you and your internal processes are solid. It is a little bit of a journey, but like I said, totally worth it.
We're gaining clarity on what we're good at. We're part of us getting more project-based, part of us like charging premium rates is like really leaning into what we're good at and leveraging that.
Exactly. And there are many ways to do this thing. You don't have to pick an agency. You don't have to scale. You can choose what works for you, but you have to be very clear. Like the culture that if you're starting an agency, again, we're going to touch on the culture a little bit. The culture that you have internally is the culture that's going to reflect for our clients.
I love that because that's the reason we're not back at the corporate, you know? We want that paradise. We want to have our dream. We want our cake and we want to eat it too. Thanks. If you love this show, go check out our full length podcast over on Unicorns Unite. The link is below.